Thank you very much for very good introduction. Good morning to everybody. I will start my session with how we came into this crusade. Unfortunately, epidemic in China got converted into pandemic. The entire world was under control of corona. We were not spared. Our Prime Minister appealed all the professionals in the field, medical field, engineering field, service engineering field, to help the government in a possible ways they can. Various schemes were introduced. Initially, the PMO office introduced a list of 7 categorically selected items. And later on, this list was expanded to more than 100 items. It was an appeal somewhere around 21st of March. There was a procedure. There was a procedure for enrollment. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Somewhere around 21st of March, the appeal was made from the PMO office with certain procedures. It was online registrations of all the manufacturers in this corresponding industry medical field. Accordingly, we applied for this scheme to join a crusade. We got the permission after fulfilling all the formalities. As usual, there was some plus points and from bureaucracy. We got permission on 4th of April. Till that time, we were just struggling and thinking that what we can do. Using our past experience, whatever the facilities we are having in our manufacturing unit and whatever the staff available with us and whatever the control of movement, considering all these things, we decided that at this juncture, we will try to import the things which will help us in immediate manner. Unfortunately, all international couriers were halted and no such availability was there. Now, the main problem was coming back to the factory from home. As I stay in Thane and my manufacturing unit is in Dombivli MIDC, it was extremely difficult to fly from Dombivli to Thane and back. It was extremely difficult, but at that time the scenario and the fear of corona was so much that everybody was here. No, even the driver was available for flying the cab. We decided that whatever we will do it in the factory. Now, every day, to avoid every day going into the factory and coming back to Thane, we decided to stay in the factory itself. My friends, my relatives, they stood by me. One of my friend, the president of COSIA, Mr. Purushottam Agwan, one of my friend, the managing director of Prism Surgicare, they stand by me like a rock. They supported me by all means and all ways. Later on, when I decided to stay in the factory, my wife, incidentally, who is also an industrialist running his own unit, she stood by me like a rock, and in spite of not proper arrangements in the factory, she decided to stay with me. We converted our receptions into our stay room and started working. When we started working, we thought that the staff will cooperate with us, at least the local staff. But out of fear, they also could not join us. Of course, these are the limitations of that time. So we used to work right up to 2:30 in the night and wake up early in the morning whenever our body supports. So virtually, we were working day and night. We decided when we came to know that what we can do. Our past experience came to our rescue. Then we decided that we will go with the ultraviolet lights. As I told you, there was one product from Australia which was available by that time. This product has proved that it has worked exceedingly well during SARS. It has successfully killed SARS viruses in 2012. This product was also certified by Hopkins, then so many hospitals, renowned and reputed hospitals from Mumbai. But unfortunately, this product was not available. The product at that time, it was costing 18,800. We were ready to pay for that. But unfortunately, because of this cargo halt, there is no any flying from Australia to India. We could not get this product. Later on, we thought that we will go with the ionizer. So we contacted one of the company in Japan. Fortunately, we could get one sample piece, but unfortunately the market was totally blocked and there was no spares available. Incidentally, we got some ultraviolet lights and we decided that we will go with the ultralight light only. We say that it is a reverse engineering. We got total information from Auxera, that is an Australian company. They supported us well, and we thought of manufacturing Auxera in India. Basically, before going into that, I will like to put some light on what is ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is a spectrum of light with very narrow band and the wavelength ranging from 100 nanometer to 400 nanometer. Popularly, it is grouped in three separate groups, that is class A, class B, and class C. The range starts from 100 nanometer to 420 nanometers. As the wavelength reduces, the UV light becomes more penetrating, more killing. Normally, the wavelength used in the germicidal devices is between 200 to 280. The normal wavelength used for water purifiers is around 54 nanometers to 280 nanometers. It takes the characteristic of ultraviolet. I will just spell out the entire spectrum. Normally, the spectrum starts from 100 nanometer. This is the ultraviolet, deep ultraviolet to 960 to 1100. That is a far infrared. That is a wide spectrum from blue to red. This spectrum has got the typical and peculiar characteristics, and they have got their own advantages, disadvantages, merits, and demerits. Normally, 180 to 275 is used as the germicidal ultraviolet. As you go up, then there comes a peculiar wavelength of 293 nanometer. Meanwhile, I will just put some story inside. I studied this for the last 4 years. Initially, we started ultraviolet in curing industry, curing the inks. In 2019 of January, my daughter, when she was staying in North Carolina, USA, she started a syndrome of vitamin D3 deficiency. So I started studying how we get vitamin D3. A natural source of getting vitamin D3 is a sunlight. Then, with the help of my friends, is Dr. Kumtekar from Kroda Lab. He gave me all the details, all the supports. We find out a typical wavelength in a sunlight spectrum, that is a 293 nanometer. It is not available anywhere in the net because this is a proprietary research. There is only one company in the world, that is a Seoul from North Korea. They are the only manufacturer of the LEDs in this wavelength, and they are manufacturing products in this range. So we got some LEDs. This is a typical wavelength of 293 nanometer. I'm also vitamin D3 deficient. Then first 1 month, I tried this therapy on myself, and I started realizing that this theory is working. I have not invented anything new. Only thing I find out that in a spectrum of sunlight, only 293 nanometer wavelength produces vitamin D3 in the human body. Then how it does it? See, basically this 293 nanometer wavelength reacts with the dihydrocholesterol, which is in our superficial skin, is converted into vitamin D3. Cholesterol is a convertible, and UV is the source to convert it. Later on, with the total consent, I tried it with one of my staff member and the manager, the technical director or GF's Laboratories Pune. As he was sitting all the time, he is the head of the R&D in solar in GS laboratory all the time. Most of the time he's in the limelight. He is in the light, artificial light, which does not contain UV at all, and developed vitamin D3 deficiency. Vitamin D3 deficiency is a syndrome. It is so dangerous that if there is no vitamin D3, you cannot absorb B complex. You cannot your body cannot absorb calcium. So it is a vicious circle. After trying by all means, I tried it on my daughter, and you won't believe it. I got the result. She got totally out of vitamin D3 deficiency in just 2 months. Because of some limitations and some international restrictions and availability of vitamin D3 LEDs, we could not convert it into a production unit. Recently, that means the process is undergoing. We are signing a NDA with North Korean company Seoul, the only manufacturer of this LED, that we will start manufacturing this product in India. We are expecting the support from them. Within a week, we will undergo that. After that, I keep on studying on ultraviolet light. Then I thought that I will come out with the world's smallest UV water purifier, which will work on solar. It will be useful for all the rural area people who they cannot afford a water purifier of branded company. So this is the product we developed, the smallest cartridge of ultraviolet light with the killing wavelength of 275 nanometer. It will be under production once this corona wave goes off. Because we have now decided at present we will concentrate only and only on corona. Later on, we come out, because our ultimate aim to replace Auxera of Australia with our own unit. We have got a limited capacity, but fortunately, our manufacturing unit is having a full-fledged PCB manufacturing unit. So my wife and I myself, when we have done anything with our own hands, we make that unit operative. We started making PCBs ourselves. We used to drill the PCBs without any help from any of our workers because they were not able to come to the factory. So many problems. I will just show you the product, how that product is. See, if you can see this product, I think, is it visible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You will find a small porous holes. Actually, how this Auxera works? Auxera has got ultraviolet tube inside, and there is one fan which takes the air from the atmosphere and pumps it onto the ultraviolet tube. And all the airborne viruses are totally killed without any doubt because this concept has been proved traditionally, and since last 30 years it is being used. So where to get the fans? Because we were not expecting anything from China, and all the small fans, they are coming from China. So we developed a concept that is called the thermal molecular flow. It's a very simple concept that if you hit anything at the bottom, the air gets heated and it goes up. So with the help of this concept, we developed it hardly within 5 to 7 days with the trial. Then the question was how to drill the so many holes, because it needs about 112 holes to be made in aluminium. We were not competent to that level. So what we did, we used the theory of metal-metal displacement. We used to manufacture our own PCBs. While removing the copper, normally the ferric chloride is used. I am disclosing during this session all our professional secrets and techniques so that it will be open to all. This, instead of going for ferric chloride, we have established our own theory, that is oxidization and copper and remove it with acid. And we used to use hydrogen peroxide and hydrochloric acid in combination in some fixed proportion. This solution takes out unwanted copper from the PCB and you get the track. So this is how we make the PCBs in our unit. Our byproduct is copper chloride, which is a very toxic chemical. Then what we decided, we use the concept of chemical milling. Chemical milling is removing the material with the help of chemicals. So what we did, we made a printing on the with the screen on this aluminum pipe. The unwanted part we kept open. We put this aluminum pipe into the ferric copper chloride solution, and we get excellent holes. Hardly within 4 to 5 minutes, we used to get all 112 holes. That is how we encountered making a porous pipe, and we succeeded into that. This product will soon go for production. So we encountered drilling problem, we encountered non-availability of fan problem, and we established the product. Now there is a question of turbulent flow. How to generate a turbulent flow? Again, we made it with the screen printing and a traditional process. Just one second. I have left back at 293 nanometer. Again, I will continue from there. After 293 nanometer, there is a wavelength that is a 310 nanometer. 310 nanometer is used in cosmetology. Thereafter, there is a wavelength, a typical and peculiar wavelength of 365 nanometer. This wavelength is a fundamental behind mosquito killer, mosquito repellent or mosquito killer. What happens that if you treat nanoparticles of titanium dioxide with the ultraviolet rays, then of 365 nanometer, then oxygen is generated. This oxygen is a nascent oxygen. Whenever any mosquito or fossil comes in contact with nascent oxygen, the superficial layer of his skin is burnt and carbon dioxide is produced. There are various therapies how human is detected by mosquitoes. One of the therapy is the fragrance emitted by human being, the temperature of human being, and the carbon dioxide emitted by human being. So that way, the mosquito is deceived. He treats that carbon dioxide as a carbon dioxide emitted by oxygen, and he comes close to the device. Once it comes close to the device, it again gets oxidized, and the process of generating carbon dioxide continuously continues. Actually, this nascent oxygen does not kill the mosquito. It only burns the superficial skin of mosquito. But when it comes very close to the device, it is bound to happen. There is a fan, it sucks the mosquito inside. And you can get the mosquito, you can see the mosquitoes that they are really trapped, not they are driven away. So they are killed practically. Now next comes is a 390 nanometer. This 390 nanometer is used in the curing industry. All the newspapers, they are cured in the ultraviolet light with this 390 to 395 nanometer. After 395 nanometer, there is a 410 nanometer. Between 310 to 410, this wavelength is used by cosmetologists to treat the acne. Acne which are otherwise cannot be cured within 4 to 5 days are cured within 2 to 3 sitting of just 5 minutes. Up to 420, this is the class C and class B UV rays. Thereafter, it starts a near visible light. Then comes the wavelength of 455 nanometers. 455, there comes the wavelength of 547 nanometers. This 547 nanometer wavelength has got the typical effect on bilirubin, and it is popularly used in neonatal jaundice treatment. A newborn baby, you already might have seen that they are kept in a neonatal unit under blue light. This blue light has got the wavelength of 547 nanometer. And this 547 nanometer converts the bilirubin in the baby's body into a water, and the jaundice is cured. Till today, there was only one way treating neonatals by exposing the kid from one side. We designed the system exposing the kid by both the sides by using silicone material as a non-toxic material for the baby. There comes, this ends the UV. There comes infrared and far infrared. If you see a book that is a red light therapy makes miracle in the day-to-day human life. a wavelength of 670 nanometer and 860 nanometer, a combination of that wavelength regenerate your all blood vessels. All blood vessels very close to the face are regenerated and your face becomes younger by more than 10 years. If we go slightly up above 1100 nanometer, then it is having an effect of heating. And all the heating media, they superficially cure your skin or body pain. But only infrared has got the capacity to go inside your body by 7 centimeter. So even if you treat it that body portion all around, then you will be going 14 inside your body, and that is a very mild but uniform heating which heals your injuries, speeds up the blood flow into the veins, arteries and veins, and help to recover you. This is as far as the UV and infrared is concerned. Now, the miraculous effect, all the medical professionals may debate it, but 90% burn patient, he dies. 100% he dies only because of infection. The bacteria are formed, and there is no antibiotic in the world which is faster than bacterial effect. So bacteria are formed in the open wounds, then they form the colonies, and the patient collapses in such a faster rate that antibiotics cannot save that person. UV causes cancer. Overexposure to UV causes cancer. But a controlled exposure to UV under the medical supervision is given to all such a type of patients. Then you get sufficient time for antibiotics to work. And in future I am saying, it may happen that UV technology will come to our rescue even for one patient. So it is a very, very large application areas. Now I have stopped up to 547 nanometer. The same wavelength is used for curing the dental cements. After doing the root canal, you will see that the dentist exposes the teeth with one light. That is nothing but the blue light, which is close to ultraviolet light. This is how about the ultraviolet applications. Implementation, I have told you. Corokill, I have discussed on that. Now, how we can kill corona? One of the renowned medical professional, he asked me that, do you have any proof that your system can kill corona? See, basically, nowhere in the world, nobody knows what anatomy of corona is. Nobody knows, even America doesn't know. How a poor chap like me can understand that? So what I decided, two things are there. One is either corona must be a live body or corona must be a dead body. If it is a live body, then we cannot kill it by, if it is a live body, then and only then we can kill it by pesticides, antidotes and antibacterial treatment. But if it is a dead body, then these are not of any use. So antibiotics are not used for the treatment of corona. In my opinion, because I am not a legal professional, in my opinion, which has, to the extent possible, it has proved correct, which I thought of about 3 months back. Corona is a protein body. It is a group of proteins, a water molecule surrounded by a protein. Our body accepts it because our body needs protein. But anything in excess is a poison. On the same theory, we get the proteins much more than our requirements. We cannot digest it. A simple anatomous example is a snake bite. As it has been proved that snake poison is nothing but extremely rich source of protein. The same poison of snake is diluted and it is used as a medicines in a very diluted form, and it has coming to our rescue even as an antidote for snake bite. This poison is injected into the horse blood, then the venom of the horse is taken and it is converted into antidote for snake bite. It is a traditional practice going on. And Dr. Saras Punawala from Pune, he is a pioneer in this field. He gives the horses for this application and the vaccine is produced. So like that, corona, treating the corona, killing the corona, a simple way is to oxidize it. It's a very easy way. Either you kill it by UV or oxidize it. If you use a UV under controlled condition, then coronavirus is destroyed. As far as the viruses are concerned, UV is the ultimate destroyer for virus. In Hindi, we can say Vishwa ki Antim Shakti for coronas. It has been proved for years together that ultraviolet destroys the DNA structure of everything, and the very properties of the product, that particular product, are lost. If you put a UV on the curd, you will find that curd is wasted because it kills all the bacteria in curd. The conversion of milk to curd is a bacterial conversion process. Bacteria acts as a catalyst. If you are killing the bacteria in the milk, you cannot get the curd. You can try it. Now, UV has got a tip. Everybody is saying that UV is the ultimate killer. UV is the ultimate killer. Friends, yes, UV is the ultimate killer, definitely, but it kills only surface bacteria. Only surface bacteria. It even does not go inside even by 1 mm. Then only quartz. Quartz is allowing ultraviolet light to pass through, and the efficiency of this transfer is around 83 to 87%, depending upon the quality of the quartz. All other things are opaque. So if there is a glass, there is a protective layer except quartz, that the light which is coming out, that is not UV, but it is a blue light. Then second thing, if you see the UV light, you will feel that there is no much intensity. I can see it with open eyes. But friends, our retina, human retina, cannot see the intensity of UV light. So don't go by the intensity of light. When you are seeing the intensity of light, you are killing your retina. And a 254 nanometer wavelength UV light, if you are seeing it for 5 minutes, take it for granted that you have lost your sight forever. It is irreparable and there is no any theory available to retrieve burnt retina. The second thing is, as I told you, that it kills only superficial viruses and bacteria. If you put, suppose if you are keeping the UV tube of around 8 inches, from 4 inches, as you keep it close to the object, it is more effective. And the effect reduces in the inversely square proportion of the distance. If you keep it at 10 centimeters, then the effect will be 100 times lower if you keep it at 1 centimeter as compared to 1 centimeter. But if you keep it 1 centimeter, the portion near the tube is destroyed if you keep 100 tomatoes and if you keep it near the central tomato, then the DNA structure of the central tomato is totally destroyed, whereas the tomatoes around will proportionally treated with that. So you have to be very, very careful about ultraviolet light. Just taking the light from the market and using it is not the solution. Then second thing comes, next to the ultraviolet, anyway you want to oxidize the corona. So there is another means. It was adopted earlier. One is a spray of sodium chloride. It was initially done. Later on came the spray of sodium hypochlorite. You must have seen, you must have heard the news on media that so many people, so many manufacturers, they have come out with these sprayers. They spray, initially they used to spray sodium chloride, it did not work. Later on, they sprayed sodium hypochlorite. It was objected because it was staining body and cloth. Later on, it was replaced with the 1% or 2% diluted solution of hydrogen peroxide. Then it came that any alcohol, it sanitizes. So polyvinyl alcohol came. Then ethyl alcohol came. Ethyl alcohol is much, much cheaper. Later on, government banned all this because of its side effects. So about 1 month, we were using these all practices. Now there comes a ionizer. Ionizer generates extremely heavily charged particles of ions. It forms nascent oxygen and kills the protein body. I will not specifically say virus, all protein bodies. So these two devices can be used to counter the corona. Now I will come to the sanitizers. People use sanitizers just like a soap solution. Basically, sanitizer is a combination of alcohol. There are two types of sanitizers. One is alcoholic and another is a non-alcoholic. One is diluted solutions available from the imported stuff, and the another one is manufactured in India. Friends, believe me, 20% of the sanitizers which are being manufactured in India, one of the manufacturer in our Maharashtra itself, it is a subsidiary of Kelkar Perfumery. They are in Pune, and they are exporting these sanitizers all over the world. And after doing the dilution and putting their brand name, it is coming back to India. So we have got our own source. It has not been properly advertised. That's why we are importing the stuff. The stuff which is otherwise available at 150 rupees a liter, we are paying 450 and more than that per liter. Of course, the blame lies with the manufacturer. He has not properly advertised it, and we are deprived of all these things. It came in my context, so I published this information. Now coming to the sanitizer. We regularly use sanitizer, whether it is required or whether it is not required. Because we are not the judge to decide at this time I should or I should not use it. Now what happens? Sanitizer is a combination of various ingredients. About 70% is alcohol. It may be ethyl alcohol or it may be polyvinyl alcohol. Then there is one fragrance and there is one acrylate. The acrylate is used, any form of acrylate. The acrylate used that any alcohol evaporates immediately. So it is used as a binder. We think that once we wash our hands with sanitizer, our responsibility is over. Yes, your responsibility is over. The alcohol or polyvinyl alcohol, whatever it may be, it dissolves the fats on your hand, and you will find the regular use of sanitizers make your hand hard and harsh. This acrylate is extremely poisonous chemical, and it remains on your hand into the small holes, micro holes, and when you eat anything along with the food, it goes into the stomach. So it is mandatory, necessary, and compulsory that whenever you are taking your food with the hands, wash your hand with any toilet soap at least 2 minutes, and see that the maximum quantity of these acrylates will be washed out. These drugs, actually, all these stuffs are banned all over the world. Only probably the developing countries like us, we are using it. If you taste a toothpaste abroad, you will not feel of using the toothpaste, because what the paste we are using, they are using this type of ingredients which are harmful, but we are using it. So we should keep that also into the mind. So while using the any sanitizer, be careful that you are washing your hand before, at least before application, before taking your food. That will help a lot. Now, I will come to China. There is a mentality that we should not buy anything from China. What prompted you to purchase from China? China has never told that you purchase from us. That's you, that you went to China because China is giving you cheaper. Unfortunately, if you see, we are the small manufacturers, but the giant manufacturers of our country, I will not take the name, it will not be fair, but they are also purchasing it from China, doing their marketing in India, in spite of they having the manufacturing capacity in India. Gradually, all these big manufacturers, they are dragging us once again to the economic slavery of China. They are neither promoting our SMEs at the cost of our SMEs, they are flourishing China. So whom to blame? Our own giant manufacturers. Now, why China? What Russia has done with us? Russia has sold us all scrap material in the history. One of the top officer, he told me that once you use a Russian spanner, you cannot use second time. The quality of the material is so poor. Why we purchase? Because we don't have a killing instinct to manufacture ourselves. Our 150 years slavery has gone into our blood. We forget. We talk a lot many things about the character, but we provide a red carpet invitation to Bill Clinton, who has been criticized all over the world. Why? Because we don't have our strong mindset to oppose anything. Why America says you, if you are not friend, then you are foe. Don't be on the border. Either you become a friend or foe. What other countries have done with us? What Britain has done with us? They have stolen our Bhavani Talwar. They don't have the courtesy. If that would have been America, it would have attacked Britain. That this war is for taking our sword. As far as the Chin is concerned, Chin is not responsible for our today's situation because we became slave. We kept our industry. Okay, we purchase it from them. We are getting cheaper today. We have never thought of tomorrow. Now, I just have some keynotes. I will tell you one funny theory of temperature scanner. This temperature scanner we use in today's day-to-day life. For our industrial requirement, I purchased the temperature scanner in the month of August from Lamington Road Market at 850 rupees. That means he must be getting, because it comes to the importers, distributors, so he must be, the price of this product in China might be somewhere around 400 to 500 rupees. The dealer from which we purchased that device, he got our details, that who are you, what is your industry. He got all the details because they wanted to submit it to the original Chinese supplier. So what our market is. All of a sudden, I get the mail from that company from China that, sir, we are the sole manufacturers and the biggest manufacturer in China and manufacturing these temperature scanners. We are giving you at a special price of $48. If anybody is keen, I will show entire correspondence of that company. $48. $48 means, considering all banking charges, custom duty, it comes to around 80 rupees a dollar. That is 4,000 rupees. The scarcity went to such a level that now that scanner, earlier that scanner was available at 800 rupees in Lamington Road Market. One of the builder has purchased this scanner at 16,000 rupees. Later on, it went down to 9,500 rupees. Today, the price is somewhere around 3,000 rupees. Still, they are all manufactured in China. Till today, no manufacturer is coming up for manufacturing this product, which is required, which is a need of time. Still, we are banking on China. When I saw that mail, I was in correspondence with Renesas of Japan. They promised me that we will supply you. Our price will be around $18 for a kit. I wrote that, I mailed that correspondent that your pricing is very high, very, very high. Then she went down to $38. Again, I told that, madam, you just wait for 1 month. You just wait for 28 days and I will give you the same product, better than that, kit from Renesas Japan at just $28. In spite of manufacturing, you do the trading, in the bargain you will get $10. If that would have been Indian company, we would have just given up. She sent me a very big mail that why we are not able to sell you at that price. One is availability of raw material, availability of labor. There is no any logistic facilities. A lot of spurious material we are receiving. That's why we are inflating this price from 500 rupees to 2,800 rupees. Now, if everybody knows use of temperature scanner. One chap stands with the scanner in hand and scans the head of every person passing by. Out of around 100 or 200 persons, he points out that one person is having higher temperature. So he has wasted his time for testing 199 persons. This is my appeal to all engineers, those who are listening to the webinar. Basically, what we need is, you don't need LCD display, you don't need such a precision instrument. Take one temperature sensor, which is now available at $4, easily available at $4 from Japanese market, Japanese manufacturer. You can design and devise a system This I say, this is the blessing in disguise. Lot of opportunities are coming out. You make one simple scanner, and those who are having temperature above 98 degrees centigrade, they only will be tracked separately and they will be checked with the precision thermal scanner. All others, let them go. So there is a golden opportunity of manufacturing of this type of scanners, which will be available hardly in $8 to $10, and which can be used in even in a rural area. But till today, at least I have not heard that these manufacturers, this big manufacturer has started manufacturing this type of devices. There are a lot of news that ventilators will be manufactured and will be made available at 7,500. Till today, I have not seen any ventilator available in the market at 7,500. And there is another invention that 20,000 rupees ventilator will be available. Friends, ventilator, even the half of the first V will not be available in 7,500 rupees. These are the claims made just for PR. When this ventilator went into the doctor's hand, they declined to use it because ventilator is a very, very simple device. It pumps the clean and pure air into your lungs and take the air out, which contains oxidation. It needs a lot of sensors. You have to monitor the ingoing oxygen. You have to monitor ingoing air quality, humidity, temperature. You have to monitor exhaled air, how much carbon dioxide it is contained. Do you want to control the oxygen or not? So many factors are simultaneously to be monitored, and that is required very high level of technology. With the support from Renesas Japan, we are coming out with the ventilators that will be made in India ventilators, but it will take time, at least for 6 months. So many institutes like TUV, they are prepared to do the international testing, which costs 50 and 60 lakhs. They are ready to give us the testing absolutely free of cost. They say that somebody must come out with their ideas. Later on, when we are working on this COVID-19 on apparatuses instruments, then take all your co-friends in confidence. Don't do it yourself. If your friend is coming to your rescue and a job of 10 days you are doing in with the help of 10 your co-workers, co-friends, if you are doing in a day or two, welcome it, because we don't have the time. Yes, you will get all the profit if you do everything, but if it is delayed, you will not get anything, because nobody will be there to whom you can treat. So join hands with all others of equal thinking, and whatever you want to do, start manufacturing. You treat your competitors as your traders. You treat your competitors to pinpoint your faults, because competitor is the right person to pinpoint your fault. Come together, come out with the best possible system and discharge it as early as possible. Start it today. Tomorrow will be too late. It will be really too late. Now, most of the time I have taken, I will address now to the students. I will start right. Subhashini madam, may I start addressing the students now?
Yes, sir. There are some
Because I have put on sufficient light on all this. As a seminar, webinar is especially targeted for the outcoming students of engineering.
Yes,
So
sir.
I will address these students now.
Sure, sir. You can proceed.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will finish it within 5 to 10 minutes. See, basically, it all starts from our day-to-day working. First thing is, I will go a little bit at a higher speed. First thing, that your day-to-day behavior. How you behave every day in a class, outside the class, because you behave in a class, it's okay. When you behave outside the class, it represents directly or indirectly your institute, your family, and all around your friend circle. Your expressions, your face, your eyes. Now I will come to the stage of interviews. Your face, your eyes should speak yourself. You need not open your mouth. All what you talk, it should come from the bottom of your heart and from the belly. We should be a truth and only truth, because the interviewer who takes your interview, he knows what you know and what you don't know, what you really know and what you pretend. So don't try to be over smart. Don't try to deceive the interviewer. Be honest. Don't waste his time. If you don't know, you tell sir, I don't know, and go ahead. If you keep him waiting, he will get annoyed after some time. And before the interview finish, you must have crossed at the bottom that this candidate cannot be considered. Your body language must be positive always, whether you are getting the job or not. There was a simple example. One girl went if you have got the slightest chance of selection, that also you have lost. The most important thing is, first, be a very good listener. You have got one thing in mind and you are listening. First, listen with whole heart that what he is saying. Unless and until you don't understand that what I have to answer, you won't be able to answer. Whenever you are entering into the premises, keep your eyes and ears open and keep the mouth shut. He may ask you, what was the tree kept inside the room of interview? What was the color of the flower on that tree, on that pot? So you have to be very careful. Keep your eyes open and keep the mouth shut. Answer only whatever you have been asked for. Don't give excuses. Excuses tell you, first thing is, once you start giving excuses, there is no end. And he has not asked you that why you came late. Why you are giving an answer? There was a traffic jam. That's why I was delayed. Unless until he has asked you, don't do that. Now, once you are through of interview and you get the job, you have to give so many, you have to get the jobs done. You have to get the jobs done from your subordinates. So you have to instruct them. You are giving the instructions and you feel that your job is over. No, friends, your job is not over. You have to see the instruction what you have given has been properly conveyed to the recipient or not. He has been properly understood or not. Unless and until he has not understood your instruction is incomplete. Occasionally, you have to see that the instruction what you have given, whether really it is followed or not. Otherwise, it is all in vain. He will come out with the solution or output which you are never expected again. Then think big. Always think big and try to accomplish it. We always think big but do nothing to achieve it. There is one book written by David Abingdon, that is Thinking Out of the Box. Everybody, I will request purchase that book. That book is a Bible of life, Bible of our professional life. David Abingdon says that plan first. If you are not planning, if you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail. Unfortunately, we take half of it. We plan, and we plan. We do nothing. We do nothing. We keep on planning and changing the planning, but we plan without any deadline. See, I will do this. I will do it in 1 day. I will do it in 2 days. You don't do that. So we keep on planning. So there should be a target. There should be a limited time to plan it and execute it. Whatever you are doing, you put your heart into that. Your body is a slave of your mind. Your body follows what your heart says. In 2016 Rio Olympic, the high jump, Derek Drouin from Canada, he broke all the previous records of high jump. When he was interviewed that what is the special efforts you have done to do this world record, you have broken all the world records. He is a multi-level athlete. He takes part in so many other events also. He told, though I have not done anything, I threw my heart above that target line and my body followed it. I don't know how it happened. So whatever you want to do, you should do it in your heart first. Body automatically follows it. If you want to reach to that target, let your heart and mind reach that target first. Obstacles will be automatically taken care of. Mold yourself into an analytical minded person. All our IITs, even my college visit here, they are famous for analytical minded people. What is analytical minded? They ask everything. Why? What is to be done? Why we should do that? Why we should not do in other manner? So you should come out with various questions. Now, when you are in a professional life, or your surrounding, you treat it as a friendly surrounding. You see that this surrounding will be wealthy, healthy. So your battery is getting down. Please. Now, there was a farmer. He got the award for the best crop. When he was interviewed, he was asked,
The sir has got disconnected due to the power cut. As sir will resume at the end of this session, sir had addressed the participants also, and few questions was being asked in the chat box. We are going to reply it soon on the Telegram link. I would like to thank all the participants and appreciate the session for their feedback. And I would, as and the sir will respond, I will be, the answers will be in the Telegram. Thank you all the participants for your participation in this session. And it is a pleasure to have sir on this session. Okay. Now there are few instructions for the participant that a feedback link will be shared on the Telegram link and it will be available till 1 p.m. Tomorrow, the next session will be at 11:15 a.m. Okay. So stay tuned on the Telegram link. All the information will be posted over there. As then, so we will wait for 5 minutes. As then, sir will join. We will have the question answer round, or else the questions will be answered in the Telegram link itself to the participant.
Thank you so much everyone for joining. Just wait a few minutes if we can connect to the speaker again. We are trying our best. If we can connect, we can resolve your queries that you have asked in the comment section. If not, then we'll surely ask the speaker and put the questions, the answers to the questions in the Telegram group, so you can have an access to the answers. Uh, okay, thank you so much. Wait for some time, wait for a few minutes, and we can inform you in 2 minutes.